Merci, Monsieur. Dear colleagues, I'm a bit sorry that quite a lot of very distinguished colleagues are leaving now, because as a matter of fact, they should be very much aware, and we shall, that we cannot make this multicultural society in cities being threatened by disaster. So we should, as a matter of fact, also be urging them to do something about their cities being resilient. But it is a pleasure for me to present this draft resolution on making cities resilient to you today. The topic is of great importance to all of us, and it might even be vital if we fail. Coming from the country of Hans Christian Andersen, I could start my presentation like this. Once upon a time. Once upon a time, not so many years ago, we had the opinion that we could produce and consume and pollute without costs. Growth was more or less unlimited, and not many seemed to care about the impact on our fragile nature, or maybe we thought that nature was robust enough and able to clean up what mankind had damaged. But we learned another lesson. Fortunately, we have become aware of the impact that our actions do have on nature, in ways of climatic change, greenhouse gas emission, destruction of forests giving way to dry and infertile deserts, overfishing in the seas, and I'm sorry to say, add more examples. Today, it is generally accepted that our actions have damaged the balance on our planet, and that it is our responsibility to find measures to combat the damages that we have caused. As local politicians, we do have a big responsibility in participating in this fight. We are part of a huge necessary effort that has to be done locally, nationally, and transnationally. It is, of course, important that we fix internationally common goals for this struggle. And it is important that every nation seriously make decisions to live up to its responsibility within an international framework. But without the hard work and decisiveness of local and regional councils, it has no chance of success. I've been around talking about these topics for some years. In my 20 years as a mayor of my home city, I have tried to influence the will to spend money to cope with the challenge that could damage and not any longer to be hidden away. We must prepare for more dramatic weather situations to avoid the worst consequences of our previous neglect. That is a here and now plan to put up. But we must take political decisions as well for restoring a balance. We have to decide not that we shall see the result, because that may take 50 years or maybe 100 years to restore the balance. But we have the obligation to act to the benefit and survival of our children and our grandchildren. And what can be done? Well, the ICLEI organizations, the City for Sustainability, has made a background paper that I'm certain will be of interest to every one of us. The ICLEI is an international network of cities, big and small, who contribute to finding solutions to vital environmental questions. The cooperation through ICLEI gives cities a lot of inspiration and sometimes solutions to implement. And that's for free. You don't pay for it. Of course, you pay a fee for being a member, but the good examples are for free. Of course, there's not just one way of tackling the challenges. Local and regional conditions must be considered, but some suggestions might be useful to you around in the different parts of Europe. We just have to remember that we cannot just copy, but we shall translate the solutions suggested. Take a look on the draft report. Take a look at the European examples from Venice, Rotterdam and Manchester. This underlines the different backgrounds and therefore the different approaches that there is needed. But they tell the same story. They tell the same story. Action is needed, and it's needed now. We must preserve the values invested in our cities. May they be infrastructure, may they be business or culture and sports. They are the basis of a good life for the citizens and for a prosperous future for the population of our cities. More national and international organizations and NGOs are contributing to this vital topic as well. The United Nations International Strategy for Disaster Reduction, the European Commission, the Committee of the Regions, not to forget the Council of Europe, and our own Congress. And besides these more very serious NGOs with a strong dedications to the problems and necessary solutions are working as well. I should especially like to draw your attention to our agreement with the UN, the United Nations, concerning the International Strategy for Disaster Reduction. The more participants, the better results, one might say. So I also urge you to join the United Nations International Strategy for Disaster Reduction campaign as a very important tool for cities to enhance their resilience through networking, sharing experiences and best practices. After my presentation in the Current Affairs Committee, I was asked how to secure ownership in the different city councils. I have been considering and trying to find a bright and easy answer, just one. My conclusion is there is no such easy answer. There may be 1,000 or more, but we have to act according to local conditions and local political possibilities, of course. The easiest way would be to conclude that this is technical to such an extent that politicians should not interfere. Of course, I don't mean that, because it's also the most dangerous path in the jungle. If it is a political matter, of course it is a political matter, also at the local level. It may be especially at the local level, as a matter of fact. It is for all members of the City Council and not only a technical committee, an executive board or any special group put up for the occasion. We have to be aware that of the obligation, every one of us, every elected member has this obligation. So my recommendation to you should be open, transparent about the challenges in your city, the technical trouble it may cause, and of course also the finances involved in the solution. Make it a common task for the citizens, the elected council members at all levels, and of the staff needed for the implementation. But please make it a common task. The paper includes recommendations that I shall not quote here. A lot of colleagues in our European neighbourhood already have some experiences that they would like to share. You're sure to have some to be shared as well. This has to be done in common, supporting every step forward against reducing the impact on our everyday life caused by earlier negligence. It is not a question of if, why, or when. It is a question of immediate action in countries, in regions, and in local authorities to secure the values being built up through generations are preserved, and to give coming generations the possibility to say, once upon a time, they acted wisely. And I'm talking about us, the local politicians of today. Hopefully, you share my concerns, considerations, and recommendations put down in the draft resolution, and I kindly invite you to adopt this important paper. Thank you for your attendance.
Merci, Monsieur Andersen.
Thank you, Mr. Andersen. In the general debate, I have 4 speakers on my list, but I would appeal to each of the speakers to please restrict what you have to say to a maximum of 4 minutes, because otherwise I will have to cut you off once you've had 4 minutes, otherwise we will be running behind. Mr. Yuri Misheriakov from the Russian Federation.
Yuri Misheriakov.
Уважаемый председатель,
President, distinguished colleagues, first of all, I would like to thank Mr. Andersen for his very full and interesting report. In recent years, the issue of the sustainable development of cities has become a more pressing issue, and I would like to focus on one of the aspects relating to this issue. So we've had a discussion already today on intercultural cities. This is also an aspect of sustainable development. And we're living in a changing world which is forcing us to change our approach to the environment, to develop new infrastructure, to guarantee development. A whole series of issues are raised when it comes to town planning, and this is also an issue for Russia. We are looking at the ways in which our cities are developing, and this raises a whole series of issues, and each town has to find its own approach. We are seeing important stages of development, and this is also an opportunity for us to develop new transport infrastructures, kindergarten, schools, swimming pools, and these are all areas in which people relax, important leisure facilities, and these are areas which we are also working to develop. And of course, this raises a whole series of issues as well. We are looking to preserve the environment, we're looking at developing transport infrastructure, a whole range of other issues. Now, I haven't got much time to speak today, but I'd like to focus on one of the challenges which I consider it is essential we overcome to guarantee that our cities are good places for our citizens to live. This is particularly protecting the environment and guaranteeing the development of our economy, to guarantee that our cities are sustainable into the future. One of the most important aspects is guaranteeing that people can live healthy lifestyles in good quality housing. At the end of the 20th century, we saw the emergence of environmental issues in our cities when it comes to supplying clean water to our